TI-84 Plus to generate some random numbers, and I'm also going to talk about how to do it on the TI-83, which is slightly different. The reason for generating random numbers is so that we can take a random sample. For instance, if there's 20 students in a class and we want to sample 5 of them, pick 5 of them to get their opinion and see if it represents the entire 20 students in the class, we need to generate 5 random numbers. Then we'll count off everyone in the class from 1 to 20 and then pick those 5 people whose numbers we generated to be the 5 people in the sample. So to get the random numbers, we're going to go to the Math menu. There's a button over here on the left. It says Math. And then we're going to go to the Probability menu. So press the arrow key either to the right to move over or to the left to wrap around. So I'll press it to the left to get probability. We're not using this right away, the rand command. We're going to use it in just a bit. What we're going to do is the rand int command. So come down here or press the number 5 on the keypad and hit enter. So we want to choose random numbers between 1 and 20 if we have a class with 20 students. So I'm going to say I want the numbers be between 1 and 20. So 1, comma, the comma is right here under the sign command and above the 7 key. 1, comma, 20. I don't really need to put the close parentheses, but I will. And then I'll hit enter. And that'll tell me pick person number 11. And then I'll hit enter again. And if I keep hitting enter, that'll give me 5 people. So person number 11, person number 9, person number 15, person number 1, person number 7. Now usually when we take a sample, we don't want to repeat people. We don't want to pick the same individual twice. If we keep going though, the way the rand int command goes, it doesn't keep track of who it's chosen in the past, so I can just keep hitting enter, and eventually you'll see some sort of repeat. So if you might have seen up there, it picked number 20, and now it picked person number 20 again. Here's person number 5, person number 5. If you're getting random numbers this way for a random sample and you don't want to sample or choose the same person twice, if that comes up, you just skip that. You just ignore that. Now I want to show you what that rand command that we ignored earlier, what it does. If I hit enter, so I've reset the calculator, and I got 19, 19, 3, 11, 9. And now I reset the calculator again, and I'm going to run this again, and you'll see we get again 19, 19, 3, 11, 9. Now how did I do that? How did I know that? Well, the calculator, the TI-84 and the TI-83 are technically not true random number generators. They're what we call pseudo-random number generators. They use some sort of program to generate numbers that look random, unless you reset the program, and when you reset the program it gives you the exact same numbers again. So in this case, the starting value that gave us these numbers was 0, and I put that in with the rand command. So if I keep going, I'm not going to get 19, 19, 3, 11, 9. So here, I'll hit clear, and it gives me some brand new numbers. But I can reset it to the default state of the calculator if I say here's 0, hit the store button. That's going to put a little arrow. That's STO, but it means we're going to store into, and now we'll go to math up here on the left. Go left to get probability, and I'm going to store it into the rand command. This is called a random seed. A random seed. 0 is the random seed or the starting process. It's just like a tree. When you plant a seed, you'll get a tree out of it. If you plant strawberry seed, you'll get strawberry plants. If you plant a maple seed, you'll get a maple plant. If you plant a 0 into the random number generator or the pseudo random number generator, and then if we start the process all over again, we're going to get the same results every time. So 19, 19, 3, 11, 9. Same numbers we got before. So what you want to do before you use the rand int command ever is you want to seed it. You use a random seed that's not something that's 0. So just because it's 2014 right now, I'm going to hit 2014. I'm going to use that as my random seed. What you should probably use is the year of your birth and the month of your birth. So if you were born in, say, 1990, and March 1990, you would go 1990 03 and store that into, and we'll go math, probability, And I can just hit enter because I'm already highlighted on the rand command here. And that'll reset it. And now when I do this command, and there's two ways to do it. You can actually go up and grab this command. If you got a TI-84, you can just press up like this. And when you hit enter, it'll grab the command for you. And notice every time I'm hitting enter, it just does the command again. I don't have to pick the command. So there it's generating brand new random numbers. The other way you can get the command that you did before, and you'll need this on the TI-83, is to hit second and then entry. Notice above the word enter, above the enter button, it says entry. And the TI-84, it's in blue. On the TI-83, it's in yellow. And on the TI-83, the second button up here is in yellow. So you hit second and then the enter button, and that brings up the last entry. You can actually go through that multiple times and get if there's an earlier entry that you wanted. But again, after you've done one command once, if you just keep hitting enter, it'll execute the exact same command you had before. Okay? Now I'm going to show you how to generate random numbers where it doesn't repeat the same person over and over. So if you want to sample people and not repeat and not sample the same person, this is only possible on the TI-84. So unfortunately you can't do it on the TI-83, but I already showed you the method to get random numbers where you don't repeat them, is just ignore the ones that are repeated. So come up here to math, go back to probability, and now I'm going to scroll down and show you where it's at. It's down here at number 8, the randint no rep, which means random integer no repeat. The int in randint means an integer, means a whole number that's either positive or negative. So hit randint no repeat. And here I've given us a blank screen. I'll say randint no repeat 1, 20. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to generate all 20 random numbers, but it will never repeat them. So I hit enter. And again, this is only in the TI-84, so if you have a TI-83, I'm sorry, you won't be able to do it. So 19, 6, 2, 3, 5. What this is saying is if you needed 5 people out of your class of 20, after you numbered them off from 1 to 20, you'd pick person number 19, number 6, number 2, number 3, number 5. And notice it runs off the screen. If we needed more than 5 people, I'll press the right arrow key here, and then I can just scroll over. And you'll notice it's got all numbers from 1 to 20, and it doesn't repeat them ever. So it gives you all the numbers from 1 to 20. This really only works when you have a small number. If you do this with like 50 or 100 people, it will take the calculator forever to generate that list of 100 numbers. So you want to use this only with something very small. You can always use the randint command and just ignore repeats if you need to. Sometimes you want to allow for repeats. Sometimes that's fine to sample or pick the same person twice. That's just reality, and we're fine with that. Normally we don't want to, but sometimes you do want to be able to do that. And again, once you've executed the command, it sort of resets the seed itself. So if I run this command again, I'll just hit enter. It's going to give me a different list. So there's two ways to shake up the random generator. One is to reset the seed to whatever value you want, and the other is to just run it again, and it'll already have been shaken up, and it'll give you brand new pseudo-random numbers. Okay, that's how you generate random numbers on the TI-84 and the TI-83.